Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our bi-weekly podcast with my co-hosts, Noorret and Payne, and this is episode 9. So we got a lot of things to talk about. Quite a few things happened in Tribes, but there were also some things that should have happened but didn't happen. So we'll talk about those as well.
Hello, everyone.
What's going on, guys? As we're doing this, I'm trying to beat M2, 98.9%. Here we go. It's funny, we talked about a lot to talk about, but then there's also nothing to really talk about. So let's do a whole lot of talking about nothing. And where I'm going with that,
we should hype the conversation and not talk about anything.
Exactly. And what I mean by that, I think we've discussed this many a times now, is the fact that we have got zero new content, ladies and gentlemen. So, gents, what have you guys been doing in Tribes lately? The same old thing?
Daily missions, and that's it. Just our dailies, and that's it pretty much. And playing other stuff.
Fair enough. Classy, yourself?
Yeah, so quite a long time passed in between our lad podcast and this one, but you're right, a lot of things should have happened, I guess, but they didn't happen. So I've just been grinding the same old stuff as before, basically. Nothing too special.
The drops, the boxes, the daily drops ended for the Annie already. Everyone's sad about that, but at least we're still getting double drops. So double drops on items, which is good, for people who are trying to awaken some characters, and when you need 1 point something K to do them, that's pretty good. It's still going on for a little bit longer, but we're all a little bit down because there was nothing new that came out, even though it was the 1 year anniversary and the game is exactly the same.
Yeah. So here's the thing, we talked about it being a failure if we got nothing, right? So that's a big one. The second thing that I think pissed a lot of people off is the fact that they put up such a big Twitter I guess fiasco for us, right, about Naruto.
A campaign, it was such a big
campaign. It was a campaign. It was a cool campaign for introducing a transforming character, but you know what would have been cooler? If they introduced things like a dummy where Naruto's training, right? And all those training would have been cool to be like, hey, here's a brand new mode. Here are dummies that you can test your units on, like a training mode, essentially. That would have been so cool. I honest to God thought for a little while, because of the amount of training Naruto was doing, I guessed it when I noticed that all these transformations were happening, but I was like, wouldn't it be cool if they were just smart enough to give us a little bit more and just put in a brand new training section in Arena where we can just go in and use dummies and just learn about our units, right? Like a better composition for team building. So that would have been an excellent thing to add, and it just makes me sad, and I made a video right after that telling people not to quit, and I meant it. Don't quit Tribes. It's such an easy game to log in, log out, but I understand the people's frustrations for quitting. So in that regard, it's totally understandable, guys. So I was really hoping for something simple. I'm not even asking for a lot. That training dummy would have been amazing to have in this game.
Yeah, just to get overall damage numbers out, so we don't have to just guess and reset every time.
Exactly.
Yeah. That would have been cool. I mean, it's come to the point where you can't even be mad anymore, because it's just, what are we going to do? It's we have to treat the game as we've always been doing. It's just daily, get your stamina refreshes, do your thing, and then carry on and just wait it out. Because we've invested way too much time into it now to just drop it. Even though some people are leaving, I'm pretty sure they'll be back. Yeah, it's disappointing because there's it looks grim right now because there's no events coming up. What is it, April? What's the next holiday? July 4th? They're not gonna do anything for July 4th. Nothing like that.
People are talking about the Golden Week. I'll be shocked if that even happens in Tribes, to be quite honest. But everyone's so adamant about it happening because everyone else does it. But I'm like,
we'll do Shino coin sales.
Well, that's not very helpful.
Not for free. I'm pretty well. They might give some for free.
Well, they'll give. Yeah, they're good about that usually.
Yeah, but they'll definitely have sales.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, the end of the day, simple things that we want from this game can be easily accomplished by this game. It doesn't require a lot of coding or work. Like I said, even quality of life things. Just adding a freaking button for us to delete the treasures that we don't want to get when they drop the boxes, right? That simple thing like that would have made me so freaking happy. The fact that we only got a couple things, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed getting UR fragments from all those anniversary boxes, but if you're on a whale, I mean, it's really not that it's going to impact you that much. right? So like for me, it was huge, obviously, because I got a lot of my characters up. But for someone who's a free-to-play player and having to spend all their Shino coins right before KCM comes out, and then being like, oh shit, I had to spend everything on stamina, and now I don't have enough for KCM. And then if you do have enough for KCM, you get jacked. Now you're like a couple banners behind. So there was a lot I think they messed up on. There was a lot. Like I wish they really put in a step up banner or a pity banner for KCM for, as a thank you, instead of giving us 1,000 Shino coins after KCM was done and being like, thank you for getting us through the 1 year anniversary. How about here, we'll give you KCM if you spend 20k Shino coins. Like something like that would have been really cool.
And instead they gave us a step up banner with all the URs, including like the ones that you don't need anymore.
So it's a little disheartening that they're adding servers into the game, but it's like they keep adding more and more servers. What are they up to, like 30 something now? 40, geez. And it's like the older servers are like, who cares, let's just keep adding servers. Who cares what's happening to the older ones or who's on the older ones? And it's disheartening, but we gotta see what, who knows, maybe it'll get better in the long run, because everything seems to be normalizing soon. Everything within probably 2 to 3 months should be back to normal, hopefully, after the vaccinations, because I know in the US we were already down to like 30s with the vaccinations, and I actually got mine today, so hopefully that helps with other countries doing that too.
Yeah, honestly, like I know originally we talked about COVID being a big issue part of this game. Yeah, I was like, it's one of those things where now I don't even know if I'm gonna blame COVID. So the reason why I'm saying this, of course, is the fact that I'm kind of following. I love to follow trends, right? And then this game has a massive thing that it does very often, and that is, I don't think they want this game to be a main game. I'm trying to believe like they want this game to be something that is very easy to log into, log out to, and you can just get your Naruto character, see this cool animation, and move on. So I don't know how serious they are about really making new content. I really don't. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're okay with how it is, because if this is all they're putting out and they're not spending much money to market, to promote, and they're still making a killing with whales in this game, I don't know if they're going to need to ever put out new content. They're just going to get fresh bodies in and out all the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean with the server thing. It's just they are making a ton of money, but the effort from them is just, it doesn't seem like it's there.
Yeah.
But it's like we all want it to be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, like I said, we say this every podcast. Like we like the game still. We're just kind of pissed off the way that the mods are treating it, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of become an issue where, it's hard for players to stay around because they want something new. But then again, we talked about this last time where a lot of the players who are complaining are those players who've never finished content even, and are just complaining. I think it's becoming a trend, right? It's like the negative vibe you have in a team or a classroom. When somebody gets negative, everybody feels that vibe. So I think that negativity is bringing a lot of people down, and even those people who have no reason to be complaining about content are complaining because that's what everyone's doing. But that's also not anyone's fault besides Bandai's. You've created that now.
So anyways, yeah, hopefully we get some new stuff down the road, I'm not going to rush them. You got to just, hey there, buddy, do what you can.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like
that.
The last thing you want to do is make them put out like shit content, right? Like if
we're
going to give them time, they better put out some quality stuff. Like KCM was a good start for banners and new characters. That was a great start to something brand new, which was just transforming characters. But I mean, outside of that, like, people always say content's gotta matter. But you know what? Honestly, as much as they're not putting out content, we're all doing so many different things outside of the game that have to do with the game as well, though, right? Like, for example, we had a collaboration recently with Classy in the team building school. So I don't know, Classy, how'd that go, by the way? Like, what were the results of that whole collaboration? What ended up happening?
I think we grew pretty big overall. It was pretty good.
Like overwhelming?
Not really. I didn't want it to be that overwhelming, but it's good growth at least. That's good.
So are you finding any new candidates in your school now?
Yeah, we definitely have people who are like good up and comers, as I should say.
Good. Are any of them from the main court, or a lot of them are like not even affiliated with the main court?
I think I've seen them in the main court, but to be honest, I don't use the main court really.
Yeah. I know you're busy focusing on your own stuff. You barely even on my own Discord. I only see you. I think I see you pop up like a rare Pokemon when we talked about Wild Rift.
Yeah,
I was
Oh,
like,
right.
whoa, Classy's still here. I was like, forgot about it.
Speaking of Wild Rift,
I mean,
Yeah.
forgot about
the
that.
game really is not helping me just come back or like come on often.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
Yeah, I get
But
you.
yeah.
It's sad, but whatever. I mean, let's.
Yeah, I don't want to like
Let's.
make everything like super pessimistic all the time.
No, exactly.
It's
That's
not.
exactly what I was
It's about. It's right now. It's gotten into the phase of like, it was the 1 year anniversary. I think we had just such high hopes for it because it is the 1 year and the 6 month was so good.
Yeah.
Like the six month had actual stuff to do, and there was, I think the level limit was like increased around that time, so there was like a bunch of stuff to do. But now it's like the only thing left is for people to hit 105, and I don't even know if people have hit it already.
Yeah,
Have they?
somebody in Japan has. Karangan is 103. I'm 102. I think a
Yeah.
few
What
folks
about
are
Blue?
close, but yeah, Blue is also 102. I think. So
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Blue slowed down a lot for what he like. He doesn't really wail much anymore. Blue's got other things in real life coming up that are important to
Yeah,
him.
understandable.
It's all
trying to
about
say.
the correct. It's all about the Karingan whale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Karangan, my boy, my man. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. So, and shout out to him in my Discord. He keeps everything so light and fluffy. But in terms of spending, that man makes me look like a free to play player. So, and the thing is, like, people like him coming into the game are what's going to keep the game alive, right? So, for like us, old school people, I'm doing content, so I'm spending a little. But if I wasn't doing content, guys, I would be free to play 1,000% at this point, because I'm still beating content without needing all these new characters. So, it's one of those things where, like, how long can you keep the Karangans happy, right? If they're beating end game already, and as whales, you've got to now keep the new blood happier. The OGs are already, we put our time in. We're going to stick around through thick and thin for the most part, but it's the new players you got to now keep intact, because the expectations of gachas nowadays are much higher than they were last year or even a couple of years ago. So that's kind of where they have to do. But like I say, we don't want to be pessimistic. The game is still doing well financially, and overall, like, we still enjoy what we do. We just want something brand new, and I don't think that's not asking a lot.
It's whatever at this point.
Yeah.
The game is still the game. Nothing's changed. I mean, it's still the same thing. It sucks. I mean, if you're a lower level, you still got, if you haven't hit 95, you still got a bunch of stuff to reach for, doing the dailies. You still can level up, and there's more content you can unlock, and you could still reach for, like Master 2 and stuff like that. It's just tough when you've beaten all that content and there is nothing to do. So it's a little bit different for people who do, for instance, like the really big whales who have beaten everything and they're just locking in every day to pretty much
skip
everything and then carry on with their day.
Well, at least free to play, you'll be 105 and 2099.
True.
Spider-Man.
You'll have plenty of time to level up.
You have plenty of time to level up. So you guys should be using friggin' SCs on stamina refreshes instead, so you guys can finally catch up.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's talk a little bit about the banner.
Right.
This has been a really weird one.
Yeah. So technically, this is like part of the anniversary banners, and that's why I was I was pretty disappointed with what they did. Not necessarily because I was expecting like another broken OP character, but I just wanted something like new, and they just gave us basically old character kit designs. It's the best way I can put it.
So how'd you guys like the whole Madara?
Oh, I thought that was pretty funny overall. So I'm okay with it.
I mean, it's sticking with the theme of the show because they still call them Madara, but whatever. I mean, it's sticking with the show theme, but I found it funny that his kit was just basically Sage Mode Jiraiya again. So I didn't feel too bad that I didn't. Well, I didn't even pull. I pulled like 3 singles, and I was like, okay, done, free to play.
Yeah.
So
So I'm a little more salty than that, but spending 90k now. I'm at 90k, and I've only got one UR so far still. So one UR and 90k. Not even the featured UR. It's May. That's what I got. So that kind of brings me back to my point here about implementing new things. Like, some people should not be spending that much money for one character. Like, especially for me, because I'm doing showcases now. I'm actually having to rely on other people to build these characters up for me. So thank you to AJ for doing that, and those who have volunteered. But that's obscene. I think that should never happen in a game. especially a gacha game. Like, and I'm not the first, obviously, to go through this. This has happened to me before. But yeah, that's like one of those crazy things. But yeah, the characters are not crap. Don't get me wrong. Like, everyone's comparing SMJ to Obito. There's actually a lot of things I like about SMJ more. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, SMJ, in my opinion, has a way better trait because his heal is insane. Like, he is so freaking hard to kill. And honestly, like, for places like Arena, NWT, and Abyss, I'd rather take SMJ's kit over Obito's. The only thing Obito really has for me that I like a lot is his guard rate up.
Yeah.
But it's one turn, right? It's one.
Yeah, some of his buffs do more, like, better overall than SMJ's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, as an overall unit, I still like SMJ. Again, his survivability, SMJ is just better.
And also,
in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
No, that's okay.
I was gonna say the vitality is kind of meh.
Exactly. And honestly, no offense, but that skill too is a 1 turn 40% guard rate. Yeah, 40% is a lot on level 1. I get it. It is really good. It can save your life, but it's so niche. Like, 1 turn guard rate, like, that's so old school. That's so OG, right? Like, for a brand new character, at least give him 2 turns or 3. Like, I haven't seen a 1 turn buff from a power creep character in a very long time. So it kind of threw me off a little bit. Like, the kit's good, but I'll take SMJ any day because of that heal. Honestly, the self heal makes him so much harder to kill, and the fact that his guard rate instantly kicks in after there's 6 or less allies available. Plus, the crit suppression, people underestimate crit suppression a lot. That skill too for Jiraiya's crit suppression is a lot of crits going down. Like, people aren't critting you anymore once you get that off.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, there's quite a bit that people are all like, Jiraiya does shit damage, but I'm not using him for damage. You don't use Jiraiya for damage.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you shouldn't be using Obito for damage. Like, I'd be shocked if you are using him as a damage character. You want to use a damage DB unit, you use Hidan, you use Sasori. Like, those are D units that are damage dealers. So, yeah, I don't know. And Kabuto don't even get me started on Kabuto.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows how to go about it.
But either way, like, even if he was better, even if he wasn't, I'm just disappointed that, like, they could be compared so closely together. Like, it's just not unique at all. And same for Kabuto. He could be better than COVID Maru, but, like, they have some similarities at least. It's just the character design just feels like they didn't really try on it.
Yeah, agreed. And especially with 2 characters that people were looking forward to.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they gave him such cool animations, like the revive jutsu and stuff, and then they just made it so stupid. It's like, they put so much effort into KCM. KCM was so perfectly executed, and then Madara comes by, and I understand his, unit being that way, but Kabuto should have been more hyped than Madara, the fake Obito. He should have been more hyped just because of what he does. That whole scene that he is in that suit, like how he looks, is pivotal to what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like, he is the whole reason it's happening, and they're just like, you're trash.
And then, in the scene, he, like, pulls out the real Madara and he shocks everybody.
Yeah.
And we don't get that.
It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, how many people did you guys see were like, oh shoot, like, there's there's like a brand new revive going on, right? And
yeah, I thought so too. I thought that was going to be a revive. I really thought that would be crazy.
My hopes were
you could bring
a little bit low. I think that would be a little too far of a stretch for Bandai right now.
No, I thought it could be like a revive, but the unit came back with minimal HP. I thought it would be something like that, like minimal HP. So it would be, you get another unit, but the unit would be right there close to dying.
Yeah.
And then
so that would got kind of work, but then
so many possibilities if that was actually a thing.
Yeah, because then a comp of like crazy healing.
Sakura Blossom would be overpowered.
Yeah. So, but like, that didn't happen. So, so it just sucked. It just really sucked. But whatever. I mean, here's to the next banner, right? I mean, they did perform really well with KCM. KCM was great. Yeah. And before that, Childhood and Sasuke and Naruto were pretty
I'm really happy
units.
about all 3 of those guys, even if they were the same characters again and again.
Yeah, I mean, KCM was perfect. Just sucks I didn't get him, but he is a really good unit. And sadly, he's the only good thing to come out of the Annie, aside from Renee 2.0 and the drops.
And I mean, they didn't even have a mission assistance. Like, that's not even hard to program. You already programmed it.
I mean, it's still in the game. If you start a new account, you get it immediately.
Wait, what?
Is that still going on?
Oh,
The SR
my
Heavy,
bad,
right?
my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, as soon as you make an account, they give you the SR Heavy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if
The
that was still
mission
happening.
system.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean, like, I wanted another, we had Santa Naruto. I want somebody else for the mission assistance unit that we can earn.
You
Yeah.
know what? That alone right there, Classy, having that one character alone, in my opinion, made Rene better than the anniversary.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, Rene was way better because everyone was hyped to get him to 7 stars, get him fully awakened and stuff like that. Everyone was really hype about Santa Naruto because he is also such a great unit, and he was completely free.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, like I still get the number one question when I show my arena team and people want to mimic it is, can you replace Naruto with anybody? Honest to God, Rene Naruto is very hard to replace because you have piecemeals of people that do things that he does, right? Like everyone's like, oh, you can use Sarada, but no, you really can't because the damage she puts out is shit in comparison to what he does.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a problem in itself. And I mean, her buffs are way different than his buffs. His debuffs are completely different than hers. So like, there's always that problem. And then you can talk about using Six Tails as an AOE damage dealer, but then again, you don't get the 5k vitality. Sublime, you don't get the 5k vitality. So there's so much imperfections in different characters where Rene is probably one of the most perfect characters they brought out. Period. Right. So. Like it's one of those things where, like why wouldn't the anniversary match that? Like yes, KCM is great, but KCM wasn't free. KCM shafted. Yeah. KCM made a lot of people quit, like a lot.
Yeah.
So, like that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. Considering I'm a content creator as well too, and I promote the game. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I promote them, and I told people not to quit. But you know what? Like, I don't blame people sometimes. I don't.
Yeah. It's cool though that they do have the transforming unit, so we have a vision of their capabilities for the future.
Sure.
So it shows that when they really put in the effort, because they did do the biggest campaign ever for KCM. They had that whole training thing on Twitter. That was the most active that you've ever seen. The Twitter of tribes ever be active. Sure. They barely post except for the teaser and stuff, but they were posting every single day.
Yeah, it was huge.
So that's what really hyped me up. I was like, oh man, they're actually going really hard. So that's kind of cool that they have those capabilities when they do decide to really step it to 120%. Yeah, I feel like they can do it. They're capable of doing it.
But yeah. So here's the thing though, like, could they just cut the Annie right after that and just not make this part of the Annie? Because this means like they kind of like dropped the ball after the halfway mark. Just kind of sad.
I don't think this is the Annie. I think this. I think this is an after the Annie banner. I really don't think this is part of the Annie.
Right, that's
fine.
Yeah.
I don't think so either, because it's bad. It's like,
I'm okay with that then,
like,
I guess.
Because Childhood and Naruto and Sasuke were pretty good. They weren't. You didn't necessarily have to spend the bank to get them. They were good units, but KCM was just the cherry on top. He was like the best.
Yeah, and quite honestly, like Kid Naruto and Kid Sasuke, I thought were some of the best units they brought in a very long time. Like Kid Naruto, especially because if you were, like I said, we talked about earlier, if you're a whale, I got him to 7. I got my Naruto.
I
7,
did too.
Right? Like now, and the cool thing about KCM was the fact that he's actually interchangeable to every single SR Naruto tribe, which makes it insane.
Yeah, so good.
Right? Yeah, which makes him so good for that. That alone itself was a cool feature that they added. The crazy part though is like, we've got 11 Narutos now. So I was really hoping that the transformation aspect would allow him, like the base Naruto, exactly what they did. I talked about this months ago. Take the base Naruto, let him transform to a different character. They actually did that. That honestly, like, made me so happy to see that they actually listened, because I actually emailed them about this a long time ago. And to see that happen finally is a really cool thing. So all of us thought MS Sasuke was coming next, right? We all thought, like, how the hell are you going to bring out a Naruto?
Yeah.
So how did you guys
I'm
feel?
actually...
Yeah, we didn't get him, right? So how did you guys feel about
I'm
that?
so surprised about that. I was like, okay, you literally have a big-ass check coming if you just release him next.
Yeah.
And he could be a solo unit, but maybe it could be a good thing. Maybe in like a month or two, or even maybe in a banner or two, they release him then, because they just want to space out these iconic characters,
Yeah.
Or maybe they're gonna do like a whole little event for him too.
Yeah, But I mean, like when? So Golden Week, I guess that would be the next really big gotcha thing. Again, I've never been part of a Golden Week myself. Apparently, it's huge. I've never witnessed it. So
Yeah.
So I don't like Rokage put something up I think recently about like what units he's expecting. But then again, you know what a lot of content creators did out of hype? They put up fan made things about Madara and Hashirama coming, and they never showed up.
Yeah.
But people were it's so funny. I honestly I don't know the direction anymore.
We don't talk about that post anymore.
Yeah, exactly. which I always laugh at, right? Because everyone's going for clickbait, and it kills me because like you get everybody so much more hype, and then when you get something, it's just such a ass. It's like such a kick in the ass when you don't get what you want. But no, like KCM was great. This I don't think is part of the banner. I'm sticking to what I say. Kabuto is trash in my opinion. Like, if you want a good debuffer, like you said, Kovimaru is another one. Realistically, you could freaking use the SR Orochimaru even, who has similar debuffs anyways. Like, and it's a power creep units. So yeah, drop the ball 100%. Classy said it best. Why the hell are you remaking kits at this point in time, right? Like, put something brand new. That revive, if that thing was a revive, honestly, it would have made him worth having for sure.
Yeah. Even if it was like a revive that he gets revived at 1 HP, literally 1 HP, that would create teams of people having to have healers, and it would change so much. You'd have it would completely change the game, because you'd be like, oh, in arena I have to worry about this guy because this guy runs a revive team. Oh, in arena I have to worry about this guy because he's very high regard rate. So it's another comp that you have to worry about in arena. But no, it didn't really change it up. Yeah,
that's all good though. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm sure we'll see new things like KCM. So I said this in my video, patience is virtue, and this game will get better. And I say this and I stick to this though. I'm glad they didn't bring out Hashirama Madara so early, because I keep telling people the longer they take to make those characters, the more we get new things with them that'll make it game changing, right? So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. I'm okay with them coming out later on, because that means that it's like they have another ace up their sleeve that they can use later on, because they are going to come out. Everyone knows they're going to come out. They can't be not in this game. They're so iconic.
Of course, exactly.
Yeah.
Something I want to bring up here, and I've seen it happen very often. ATB. So we had one recently, right? How did you guys do, by the way? Because you guys are in the same alliance. What'd you guys end up with?
I don't remember, but I know we did. We were only missing base Itachi and Wonder. I don't remember.
Sublime.
Yeah, Sublime. Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody missed out on that. So here's a crazy thing, like when they first introduced the 44 billion HP, I almost fell off my fucking chair, because I was like, "Are you guys kidding me? We had 13 billion last time. You just tripled it." So that threw me off. But then we started doing the ATB, and we started killing everybody but those two units. We always do. We attack the Ds and the Ts first, kill those off, and then we focus on As. It was smooth sailing until we hit Itachi, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I hate that they do this. I don't know whether they saw that somebody finally finished it and were like, not again, and decided to make the A units that much tougher. Because the last time we fought Itachi and Sublime, we killed them no problem. Even with using Connective Feelings tribe, which is a T tribe, they went down fairly easily. But this was something else. So we had Sublime left. We ended up with 84%, I think. But the question I had about this is not just how much Bandai screwed us over, but did you guys are first place in your server, right? For Alliance?
Yeah, first and second, yeah.
Did you guys have a ton of people applying or asking to join your alliance? Because what I noticed is so many people were leaving lower end alliances to join higher end ones, and now are without a home because they weren't taken. Like, did you guys have that happen to you at all?
No, but we did. Feeder Alliance did get a lot of new members because of it.
Right.
But nobody left and then didn't get a home, because we have a very we're always advertising on the server. We always tell them, hey, we're looking for people. If you ever want to join us, we have a Feeder Alliance, and if you ever want to get serious and if we get a spot, you could join the main one. And we're pretty good about getting them to only ever contact us through Discord, so we don't have to deal with the in-game chat.
Yeah.
So well, we did get a bunch of people though. We did get a bunch of people, like maybe 6 or 7 brand new people joining.
This is interesting because something like that actually happened on server 16. So what happened was we have a rival. Well, we had a rival alliance that usually was pretty good in the past few ATBs. They didn't beat us, but they were doing pretty solid compared to our numbers. And this time we just noticed that they completely flopped. And afterwards, they basically requested for a merge. So we got all the strongest players from their alliance into ours. And now I think our server actually has like a pretty good chance of getting top 10. Just because...
Nice.
Yeah, just because like in the past we had like this feud thing going on, like the Senju Uchiha clan thing, and now we're merged.
Right.
So that was pretty exciting, honestly. It really kept me in the game, even though like
yeah, exactly. And that's why I was asking you that, Classy, because a lot of people on my own Discord were like, hey, like this is what's happening. So I literally gave that same advice. Was like, why don't you ask the second place to merge? You guys can make the second place can become like a sister to the parent. All the good players go up, all the lower players go down, and you guys can adjust accordingly. And actually, a lot of people did follow that advice, and it ended up working out really well. The biggest issue, of course, was communication, right? Because you have to, it was such a small amount of time to coordinate going up to someone else's new Discord, figuring out the time to do this and all that. That was a little bit of an issue. But yeah, no, I agree with you. That's the reason why I asked that, if you guys had anybody join or leave, because a lot of people did amalgamate their alliances. But also at the same time now, a lot of servers are like, they're losing players because they have nowhere to go. So it's almost becoming an issue where people, when ATB happens, you're seeing a lot of people just leaving their alliances to join brand new ones, which I think is causing a big problem in the game. Like there should be healthy competition. There shouldn't be just one big server or one big alliance in one server and everybody else sucks, right?
Yeah.
You defeat the purpose of ATB. So that I don't like.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I feel like it's already become that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
it's
more like servers competing with each other now instead of just like.
Yeah, we haven't had competition for 2 ATBs now. Not even close.
Yeah, us too on server 1.
Like we like two ATBs ago, we did beat them by like 3 million, but it was still, we in the first couple of days we were like, oh, let's see how close it is. And then the last 2, we've just like quadrupled their points.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, our feeder alliance got second place and they hit around 4 million.
Yeah.
And the next closest one was like 1.1. Our feeder quadrupled the next closest alliance, and we hit like I don't even know the multiplication amount of the third place.
Yeah, our feeder like basically overtook our rivals, like our old rivals.
Yeah, our feeder overtook our rivals.
It's interesting.
I think this is something where Bandai really needs to look at this and start maybe making ATB a competition between other servers, not just your own server.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have a top 10, like you talked about, Classy, like where you guys are kind of getting into that. So how cool would it have been if we get the alliance rewards on top of server-wide rewards for those top 10 people, right? That'd be such a cool concept to have.
Yeah, top 10 like servers
overall.
Yeah,
overall, just in general.
Yeah, so like everyone in the server would get it, even if you're not in the...
Exactly. So that's right. So it'd be
even
like,
if it's something small, like 100 chinos, like something just to acknowledge the competition, or
even just give us some damn scrolls and talismans, like the awakening versions of them, because there's no way to get those right now, right? That would have been a cool thing to just throw in there and be like, hey, look guys, like thanks for participating and showing up at 3 a.m. For some players.
Yep.
And dealing with this ridiculous 2-hour time frame. So here's a bonus for doing that. I think honestly, if you had done that, if you had given us server wide rewards for across all the game, and been like, here's some scrolls and talismans for awakening, I promise you, the activity level of ATB would rise substantially, like insane amounts. The 1,000 is nice. The 5 awakening orbs are nice. The UR frags are nice, but nothing will like that extra reward there. Scrolls and talismans will keep me up at night. Me personally, I would stay up for that.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, basically at this point, anything would be better. Anything, any sort of little thing that they release would be great. But these are good ideas and definitely hype up the hype of the game right now. Just to increase the check the pulse, kind of check if anyone's still there, and to increase it. Get them a little excited for something.
Absolutely.
Because it makes ATB not only a competition within your server, but it makes it a competition within the whole game.
Exactly.
Especially with how many alliances there are now.
Yeah. So hard to get awakening scrolls and talismans. Like you can literally get 4.
So hard you can't.
You get 4 from the blessing packs plus the arena stuff, and then you're done. That's it.
Yeah, but what about the items that you could only get from the mission assistants, the scrolls? Do you remember those? To awaken the scrolls and talismans?
Yeah, that's even worse because it's only for a specific character, so you can't use it.
Yeah, you can't, and there's so many different ones. You can't even get those anymore, and those have been gone since the original Mission Assistants came out. That's how long it's been.
Yep.
Nobody's been able to get any since then, and I don't even know when.
And those are the ones I'm referring to, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Awakening ones.
Because the Awakening Orbs and Awakening Scrolls, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess
the ones
to differentiate
exactly,
them. Yeah,
exactly. That's why I was mentioning the word Awaken. So
yeah, because
those are impossible to get. Like, even give us random ones. Like, depending on who you kill, what they have. Like, Itachi, for example, has Faith Scroll, right?
Yep.
So let's say you want Faith
yeah.
Scrolls, and you in order to get it, you have to kill Criminal Itachi or A Itachi. So that would make ATB a whole different ballgame all of a sudden, because now people will be targeting not for fragments and weapon fragments, but for scrolls. So like killing that unit will give you those scrolls. Make that even happen. I'd be down for that too, right? So like, I think honestly, like that would have been a wicked thing to add, because like you guys said, there's no other way to get them besides the blessing packs and a few other ways. But after that, no mission assistance, none of those are happening.
Mm-hmm. I'm to be honest, I think we're gonna get a surprise like drop of like content. It's just gonna be random though. I don't think it's gonna be like scheduled.
No, I agree.
Because just the way that they released from 84 to 105, they were just like, here you go, here's another 21 levels, bam, enjoy. And nobody knew anything. It was just random. I think we're gonna get something like that, and then they're gonna release the new but there is going to be new content, because there has to be some sort of way to get those Awakening Scrolls and Talismans for certain people. There has to be some sort of event or some sort of way to do that, because there is nothing in the game right now except for when they, do mission assistance. So there has to be something with that involved coming out in the future.
Yeah, agreed. So we'll see what happens, and that's what I keep telling people. Just be patient. It's gonna drop eventually. We'll never know.
It's not. Yeah, we'll never know. But it's also, you don't really have to play the game 4 hours a day. You just do your dailies and then do it the next day, and it's not really that demanding of your time. Because if you quit right now, you're gonna lose all that money that you spent on and all those characters you got, all those characters you maxed, and you're gonna regret it when the game gets a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, you could take a break. Like, if you talk to people, like I have people who've messaged me and said that they're gonna take a little break. They'll be back, but they just need like a little break. Like, you could do that too, but just don't abandon it, because you put so much into it already.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you really feel like nothing will, like not even them releasing like a boatload of content will ever grab your attention enough for you to play the game.
Then the game's just not for you at that point. Right?
That's totally possible too. Yep. Like, you could be like that too, but don't just drop it just because you're angry at the moment.
Yep.
Even though before it was the meme, I was memeing a lot because I was like, there's no way they're gonna release this without content. So that was more of a meme, but sadly, it became reality.
It did. It became reality really quick. And a lot of people did quit, but it is what it is. We're on to better things. All right, so guys, in terms of Boruto, I was surprised first off that we did not get a Boruto character this entire anniversary. That was shocking to me, to be quite honest. But we did get a manga, right?
Yeah. The manga came out, the latest episode.
So have you guys seen it? Read it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I read it. Okay. I've also caught up with the anime, because the anime has been nothing but manga canon lately. So it's actually been really good.
Yeah, it's really good to see the fights and stuff.
Yeah. The anime is actually really good. The last couple 12 to 15 episodes were really, really good, because it's all canon, and it's cool to see Delta and all these characters in person talking and stuff. It's really cool to see them interacting.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, because I'm not caught up on the anime, by the way. So for me though, I've been reading that the anime is talking a lot more about these characters that aren't mentioned enough in the manga, like Delta, like Code, right? So giving them a little bit more of a limelight, so it makes the characters in the manga come to life a little more, which is a really cool concept. I just don't know how I feel about Code as a character though. Like, they explained how strong he was. So spoiler alert, sorry, real quick.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
3, 2, 1, back to it. Okay, so if you guys read it and you guys said you did, so you guys understood that Kawaki was saying that he was so strong that they actually had to put a limiter on him, right?
Yeah, the plate in his head is a limiter.
Right, and so he's a worshiper, obviously, of of Karma and the group itself, and especially Ishiki
Yeah.
specifically, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird that they like. I understand that like they explained why they didn't use him right away as their vessel, but it's kind of weird that they made him so powerful, yet he was rejected. Like, yes, he was he almost didn't survive the whole vessel ritual. But I mean, like, why would you not have just gone to him in the first place and just killed everybody off? Like, why spend the time going after Kawaki and all that? Did they explain that at all?
Because he was tasked with protecting the Ten Tails.
Right. But that's my point
Yeah.
though. Like, if he's so strong and he can kill everybody with no problem, like, why the hell wait? Like, why not make Kawaki the protector and make?
Because I think he's the only one strong enough to be able to keep the Ten Tails in check.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. I think that's the only. I feel like, because I'm not for sure, but in my head, if he's the only one who's able to do that, then they would keep him there. But also in the anime, in comparison to the manga, these characters seem so hollow in the manga because they seem just like bad. You know, I'm bad. I want to kill bad. But in the manga, they give them more personality. Like, you see Code and Delta, like, they have like this rivalry, and they're all trying to figure out like who's the traitor within them. And Code isn't so much of a simp in the anime for Ishiki. He does like him, but he isn't like a straight simp through and through. He's more of like oh, okay, I'll help you, I'll never betray you, but he's not like crazy, like love struck like he is in the manga.
Right. Which they make him up like he's a god essentially to him in the manga. Right. So so what do you guys think now in terms of like this is now old news, so you guys know Kurama's obviously gone now. So how do you guys feel how about Naruto's place in this whole thing? Like, do you guys feel like this is a good place for him to now kind of start talking about his death, or do you guys think that he's still going to be a force to be reckoned with without the Nine Tails?
Wait,
it's kind of sad that they didn't mention it at all.
Yeah,
like, he didn't really talk about it. He just there was no. It was just empty. Like, you expect such an iconic character to cause something, but it just nothing happened.
Wait, why are we saying that he's gonna die?
Who, Kurama?
Oh no, Naruto, right?
No, we were talking about Kurama.
Oh, okay. Because
sorry, I did mention Naruto's death. I did mention it.
Oh, okay.
So the reason why I asked that question is because in the beginning of the anime, Kawaki mentions it, right, about the death of the seven.
He doesn't mention the death. He says he's gonna send him to the same place as his father, but he doesn't say specifically where.
Right.
I feel like, keep in mind, remember in Jigen sent, or somebody, I forgot who, sealed away Naruto. Remember in the beginning, and they could send people to other dimensions. Remember,
right. So
Kaguya was able to go to different dimensions. He could have banished him, so we don't know yet. That's why they're so vague.
Yeah.
I want to be able to say that he is dead, but I don't think so.
Let's rephrase the question then. Can Naruto die now? Should Naruto die now? Like, is he still the same Naruto we're gonna love without that extra oomph to hide his power, right? Like, that's kind of the question, I guess.
I feel like he's still going to be stronger than we anticipate him to be, because he still has Sage Mode. He still has some other. I really do think that he is stronger than we think he is. Not his full, Kurama mode, but that he will be still useful to the people. Not as much as before, definitely.
No,
like him and
definitely
Sasuke are both definitely dumpstered right now.
Yeah, Sasuke losing the Rinnegan obviously was a huge thing. I know that was actually going to be my next question to you guys. Are we on equal playing fields? Like, who had it worse? Sasuke losing that, or Naruto losing the Nine Tails? I'm assuming Naruto obviously losing Nine Tails is way worse than the Rinnegan. Yeah. But he's done so much with that eye, though, right?
Yeah, he could teleport people. He could go to other dimensions. He could fast travel with it. He can't do that anymore. He's basically just has the Sharingan, and even then, his Sharingan was always second fiddle to the Rinnegan.
Right. So, Classy, to you, if you had a choice between the power to lose, what would you have done? Like, would you rather have Nine Tails or the Rinnegan? Like, what's a bigger loss to you?
Oh boy, this is kind of like a power judging, but I still think that Nine Tails is like pretty integral to Naruto's kit as a whole.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, he's a character in itself, right?
Yeah,
that is his whole character.
I mean, I still think that like the Nine Tails is a more heavy loss. Not necessarily because of power, but like he provides a lot of character to Naruto. Like, he supplements Naruto's character. He is like the source of a lot of Naruto's strongest abilities also. So
yeah,
he was also some of the best scenes in the Naruto anime.
Yeah, he was. he was one of the best.
I think he also had a really good opposite personality of what Naruto had, right? So like Naruto was always optimistic, always there for everybody. He was just selfish. He just cared about getting out and killing everybody after that. So it was a cool dynamic to see the two of them grow. And then honestly, like the fact that we lost him as a character worries me now because we haven't seen Naruto without the Nine Tails in so long. Like I don't remember the last time I've seen him have a fight without it. So it'll be interesting to see how his healing, how his super strength, how his reach, let alone his chakra generation is going to be. The Uzumaki clan are really strong, obviously, but again, I haven't seen Naruto do anything with that Kurama for a very long time.
Who knows? We might get some sort of surprise with Naruto. We never know. There could be something up his sleeve with him regarding that power loss. Because if he didn't take it so hard, like it's like he didn't even mention it in this latest
That was
episode.
weird. I agree with you. That was a weird thing.
So he didn't even mention it. Like Kurama's been with him his whole life, and he's just not going to say anything. So we have to see what happens as they develop this next month.
So can we?
Because he has to say something.
Can we talk real quickly about a character who doesn't get enough love still, in my opinion, Shikamaru? Like,
oh yeah,
the abandoning of Team 7 now, the dismantling of Team 7, the new Team 7 specifically, right? And the fact that he's been monitoring Boruto for X amount of however long he's been doing it now since the whole Momoshiki situation and karma. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? A lot of people are saying Shikamaru is the new Danzo.
What? Shikamaru becoming evil?
No way. No, Shikamaru would never do that.
Not evil, but he's doing things behind the Hokage's back to protect the village. And he doesn't have to be evil necessarily, but he's doing the things that Naruto doesn't have the cojones to do, or at least he's too nice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm okay with that.
For sure.
So, but what do you guys feel though?
Sure.
What do you guys think of Shikamaru eventually losing the faith in Naruto to be the protector and having to do what Danzo did and overthrow him? Because again, the whole losing the Nine Tails is huge, and we know Shikamaru's loyalty doesn't lie to one person; it lies to the village. So
I don't think that'll ever happen. They're too close.
How do you guys feel about that? Would you guys hate the fact that they make Shikamaru a heel, or would you guys be okay with it?
I would hate that so much because it doesn't fit his character. He's always been, ever since the whole Asuma thing, he's been nothing but loyal. And for him to just suddenly turn, that would just kind of ruin his character.
True.
Is it suddenly though? Like the way he's been like monitoring Boruto and the way he's dismantling groups now, and kind of manipulating things, but and behind the scenes
but
that's not
in a bad way though. But not in a bad way though. He's doing everything for the good. But I don't feel like he would ever betray Naruto, especially after what Naruto's done in the past and how they're all so grateful to him and how he basically. I don't feel like that's a logical turn they would ever take. Maybe somebody else, like another character, maybe.
Okay.
But not Shikamaru.
So I'm just playing devil's advocate here. So for both of you. So
no, I get what you're trying to say. Like, oh, like Naruto isn't strong anymore, so somebody's gonna need to take pretty much the wheel now. But I really don't think they would ever do that.
Yeah, I mean, he did save Shikamaru from like the brink of death during the Fourth Ninja War, also. If anyone remembers.
But it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. A lot has changed. And
yeah, but this is the first danger, though. This is the first danger that they really have to deal with.
Okay. So
village.
I thought it was a great concept behind it for Shikamaru's growth, especially as a character who, is loyal to obviously the Hokage. But you guys are saying he would never betray Naruto, but technically he is. He's doing things behind his back that he doesn't know about, that he would not have ever permitted. Do you think Naruto would have ever allowed Shikamaru to monitor Boruto the way he is? Never. Not in a million years. That would have never fly. But
that's why you have a right-hand man, though. Somebody who does something that you wouldn't be able to do.
That's behind the back. You should have talked to him about it, right? So that's my point to you guys. You guys are saying it can never happen, but it technically already is happening. So if you were a king, and your right-hand man went and did something behind your back that you would have not approved of, that's treason. You would have been executed and killed. Simple, right? So if this Hokage was anybody but Naruto, or the Hokages we know and love, obviously the gentle one. Let's say it's Tobirama, for example. We know he's crazy. If it was him and somebody did this and he found out, that right-hand man would have pulled probably his right hand. So that's where I'm kind of going with this, because I'm seeing this and I'm just like, you are technically going behind the Hokage's back and doing something he would not have approved. So and hence why I'm asking you about the whole Donzo thing, because Donzo to me was a necessary evil. As much as people hated him, he was something that was required. But anyways, that was it.
That what you're saying could happen, but it wouldn't be with Shikamaru. Amado is gonna be very vital to this whole saga, and he might be the one to do something like that.
Okay.
What isn't he already kind of like?
Yeah, he already did kind of that thing. Didn't
He never was like on their side. He kind of just.
No, I know, but they might trust him too much.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Because he is helping them out a lot, and the more he tells the truth and the more they trust him, like they might, especially because he's so smart and all the technology that he does bring to the table,
Yeah.
and all the stuff that he is helping them immensely with everything right now, giving them all the information. So he could be somebody to do something like that. But I just feel like the bond between Shikamaru and Naruto, they understand each other on a level that is beyond something as simple as going behind his back, because Naruto, I feel like, trusts him enough to do stuff that he wouldn't be able to do, even if he wouldn't agree with it. I feel like they have that sort of bond. Like, Naruto wouldn't ever be able to do something bad to someone because that's just not who he is. But he has Shikamaru, who knows that is the logical and right thing to do, and Shikamaru can do it without consulting with him because he just knows that's how they work together. That's why I feel like it wouldn't work. They've been that way always. Like they sometimes they didn't agree. Also in Naruto Shippuden, they wouldn't agree all the time. Like they would always kind of butt heads regarding how to deal with things, and that's just always has been their dynamic. But I can't see it happening that he betrays him. I don't know. I understand what you're trying to say, but I just can't see it happening. But if it does happen, then I'll be like, okay, you were right.
Well, I think betray is a little too strong of what Payne is suggesting.
But
yeah, maybe having different mentalities and not being able to agree on something and having like a little falling out, but I don't feel like betraying.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do another scenario for you guys. Okay, we know he's monitoring Boruto, right? Boruto obviously has Momoshiki that's inside of him. Naruto doesn't know what's happening. So if Shikamaru were to go behind Naruto's back and capture Boruto and isolate him, put him somewhere that nobody knows he's there, just to keep everybody safe, and Naruto doesn't know, what is that considered to you guys?
Oh no, that would definitely.
That's like kidnapping, bro. So yeah.
No,
yeah, that would definitely start something. That would definitely start something. But what would it take to get to that point? It wouldn't just happen. Like he wouldn't just do that. Something would have to happen,
right,
to get to that point.
For example, Boruto turned into Momoshiki and trying to destroy the village. An example, right? So this is the reason why I'm saying this is I feel like you guys are not giving Shikamaru enough credit, as you're giving him more credit as a loyal friend versus somebody who will do what needs to be done. And I keep seeing Donzo for some reason. I don't know why, but I keep seeing this mummified mofo becoming Shikamaru. I don't know why. Like I feel like we don't have that character right now. And it's like I said, I keep saying this. It's a necessary evil. I think that needs to exist in every village. But anyways, that's just my take on it. We'll see what happens. I hope it doesn't. I love Shikamaru as a character, but I think that growth would have been amazing. Plus, I think it would open up the door for him to become Hokage, which I think he actually does deserve right now more than anybody else in that show outside of Naruto, obviously.
But yeah, I mean, as long as he gets more screen time, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Definitely. Because I mean, he does get a fair amount. He gets way more screen time on the anime than the manga.
Yeah.
Way more. Like I'm talking like just the way the Kara, they get like 10 times the amount of time on the anime. Like they're actually treating these characters kind of like the Akatsuki. Like you would learn a little bit about them, and like Delta, there's so much you're learning about her. You're learning about Kanchan Koji and all that stuff. Like all that stuff, there's like going into the anime, which is kind of cool because it's cool to see something that isn't a filler, and I don't really give a crap about all of Boruto's friends.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of nice for the story to finally get better.
Oh yeah, but there's one thing I'd like to mention about this that's like not necessarily Shikamaru related, but I saw an opening, like a new opening for the anime that involved Boruto fighting Kanchan Koji, just like in the opening. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That is
kind of like a Jiraiya thing, right?
Yeah. And I honestly, like, we all know, like, I love Jiraiya, and when I heard about him perhaps being revived, but it ended up being a clone, it got me going. Like, I was like, oh, I really want to watch this now. So I'm actually excited if they start introducing him to the anime.
Yeah, he's in right now. He's actually been in the past couple episodes.
Oh, has he? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, he has been in the. He literally just fought. I think he fought. Like he had a couple fights, and he did a bunch of the bunch of his jutsu that you like. He always shows up on like a toad or something, so there's toads all over the place with him.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool to see him in his prime because you don't ever get to see that in Shippuden.
Right. Yeah, no, and I'm looking forward to it because, and you're right. Like having the Sannin be so old outside of Richimaru, obviously, you never really get to see them in their prime. So, like you said, it'd be kind of cool to see Jiraiya clone. It might be not the original, obviously, but sometimes the clone can be better even. So
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Jiraiya, but imagine he doesn't have the flaws of being too caring.
Right. No,
being like that pervy guy that he was. This guy's just all fight.
Right.
He's all fight, no screwing around. He just literally just throws hands whenever he gets a chance, and he's straight up killed the guy.
Oh, really?
he straight up killed the guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna say if you haven't seen it.
You kill somebody.
Yeah, he just killed the guy. Yeah.
You should go into hiding. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Next banner. We always do this every.
Oh, right. Next banner. The Edo Tensei units, 100%. And since they need money, probably Itachi and what's his face? Deidara again.
Oh no! Don't do that.
No, money. Trust me, money.
Wait, why not? Actually, I don't.
Because Kakuzu wouldn't do anything.
Nagato would be good, though. What about Nagato?
Yeah.
Nagato would be pretty cool too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Nagato would be, but they did my man dirty by not releasing his original.
That's
form.
what I mean. So like, it'd be a perfect time to release a new quote unquote Pain, but Nagato instead of Edo Tensei version. So that'd be kind of a cool concept to bring out.
But he's so weak in that form, though.
In the Edo
he's
Tensei
so
form?
frail. Yeah, he's so weak. He's so weak in comparison to what he used to be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whenever I think of his version, somebody's always holding him up from the shoulder. That version, he's just always limping somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be kind of cool to finally get into those characters. I still think we're gonna go back in time and do a Boruto one for like Boruto has to come up soon, and I'm thinking this would be a perfect time to do it. So I'm still gonna stick with Momoshiki and Papa Sasuke, but if they do a Naruto one, I think actually they may go back and do a back in time version of Shisui and Izanagi Danzo.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff can happen. I do think they're gonna start getting Edo Tensei because I feel like since they've milked the Akatsuki ATB for so much, it's about time they do the ATB Edo Akatsuki version.
Oh, you don't want a part 5?
No, I don't care at this point. Yeah. Anything, just any ATB every 3 weeks would be pretty cool instead of having it, randomly.
Yeah, it was really random. Classy, what about yourself?
Yeah, I think Edo Tensei should come out soon. I don't think Itachi will come out right now though, because he was more integral fighting Sage Kabuto with Sasuke. I feel like if we had those two together, that'd be like a pretty high profile banner, so I feel like they'll do that. And for this banner, I do think Nagato should be coming out. I feel like they need something hype after this one, and
he could be an SR too. That's the thing with him. He could even
be
an SR.
Guys, 2 SR so far in 2021.
Yeah, I mean he fought Naruto like during the war. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. So I'm down with it. I'm down to put Nagato.
Edo Itachi has to come out because that would be a perfectly logical movement into releasing a transforming Sasuke. So Edo Itachi, no matter what you guys say, is coming because he's a moneymaker and he is 100% tied into Sasuke. His next version that's gonna 100% come out.
I'd be shocked if they bring him out now, though. Honestly, I really would be. To be quite honest with you, I agree with Classy. I think it's going to be Nagato, but then I think after that it should be. I still think they need to bring out a Boruto character, so I'm really hoping that's what we get first.
They could even release Edo Itachi as a secondary unit to the Sasuke unit.
Wait, I don't like kind of yeah. Because in the anime, didn't they like kind of appear together?
Yeah, no, Itachi was with Nagato. Yeah. Remember, they were together the whole time.
So that's a little strange.
And that's when Naruto released him from the jutsu with the crow from his mouth. Remember, he just puked up the crow?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Was there anyone else with them?
No, it was just Edo, Nagato, Itachi, and it was it was Naruto, and was it what's his face?
I forgot, honestly.
The wood user, what's his name?
Oh, Yamato.
Yeah, it was him and Yamato. Yeah, they were together.
Please don't release another Yamato.
Yeah, no.
I forgot his name. Character.
I like him too, but he was only useful when Naruto couldn't keep his shit together, and then he kind of just vanished.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
because he was like, I have Wojutsu, I can contain him in case he goes wild.
Yeah,
and
he was there specifically for that reason because he had on the cells, obviously for the Wojutsu.
And then Naruto was like, okay, I got my shit together, and Yamato's like, man, there goes my screen time.
Oh, I know. And it'd be crazy because the Great War is probably the best arc in my opinion in Shippuden, obviously because of everyone that's involved. It's pretty much the entire country of Shinobi. So there's so much there. We can get a brand new Gaara, we can get a brand new Tamari, we can get like everybody we can get Ghost Neji. So like there's so much that they can provide, and this is why I told people like the fact that we're now into the Great War and these two characters that just came out is such an open door now to the biggest event possible. But after this is all done, what the hell do we do?
Boruto.
Yeah, I guess Boruto. Yeah, so maybe they'll start going to that.
That's who knows? Like after this banner, maybe they just start releasing Boruto units for a long time until we get more, because they're gonna run out eventually out of Naruto characters.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna have to be so events.
Mm-hmm.
Payne, what about you? What do you think?
So I did mention I think it was gonna be Nagato and Shisui and Danzo, or Papa Sasuke and Momoshiki. I think I'm gonna go with those two for now. I don't want to say they're going to go Edo Tensei version just yet. I think they opened up the doors to the Great War, but I don't want them to just dive right in kind of scenario. I want them to bring it out with a little bit of hype. But I'm not going to lie to you guys, I kind of miss the variety. I don't want to see Naruto all the time. I want to see some Boruto as well too. I know that's a very unpopular thing to say. But honestly, man, like Boruto has some fire ass animation. And if they bring out like the proper Sasuke, and the proper Momoshiki or something like that, I'd be so happy to finally see something like that happen.
Yeah. Boruto needs some more stuff because this is Naruto X Boruto, not Naruto X Sasuke.
Exactly. So, and I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there for almost 10 Sasuke soon. So,
yeah. We need 2 more to even it out.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, at least they're giving Naruto more love, even though the characters aren't as good usually than the Sasuke's. But overall, it's evening out playing field right now. Anybody have anything on the horizon want to talk about real quick on your own projects?
I'm so busy with school. I don't really have time for anything.
Yeah.
Let alone Naruto tribes.
I've definitely slowed down a bit, but this new alliance merging thingy for my main account is pretty interesting. So I'll have some stuff to do, but not necessarily content related. It's
kind of the same scenario as you guys, where I'm trying to do Game of the Week. I don't know if you guys noticed that at all, but
I did it.
Yeah, so doing something brand new. So anyone who is not a member, wants to be a member, I'm for Elite members specifically. You can join Game of the Week now. It's a concept that I'll be doing either multiplayer or single player. Brand new content every week for a new game outside of Tribes. Just kind of like to give you guys a feel of things that are out. We've done Hades so far, 7DS, and we've done Phasmophobia, which ends this week. And next week we might be doing something like Among Us, but we're going to test that out first to see, and maybe some Wild Rift. I'm not very good at MOBAs, but I know you guys might be. So might try that out. If you haven't seen sorry guys, I'm going to do a couple plugs here. If you haven't seen the JJV Tumblr design Payneblade Cup, check that out. It is available on their website, on any of my descriptions. I'm going to be doing a $100 giveaway on my 1-year anniversary next month, which is on YouTube. So if you have one, DM me with a picture of you holding it, and I will put you in a draw for that. And lastly, I think, my 1 year is coming up in May. So 1 year on YouTube. And my Oniki showcase came out. If you guys don't know, I had a total of $167 donated to do that showcase.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ridiculous. So I never wanted that money from you guys, but I appreciate it, obviously. So yeah, people just wanted the ham on the live feeds. People just started donating money. So shout out to my boy Mila and Isaac. Isaac did $27.99, I think, for a showcase, but then he said don't do it, and that was Canadian. And then Mila actually came out with $39 USD. And so at that point I had to do it. So yeah, that's out. If you don't know anything about Oniki, you're about to have your eyes wide open about how OP that character is. So check it out. And that's a joke. But it's completely...
I did a showcase, completely stomped them, so I can't even use them on my team anymore. It's just good.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. But outside of that, guys, just doing tribe stuff, new game of the week, and yeah, that's
Oniki Chio. That would be the OP boomer team.
I should do that actually. I was literally
And
talking
Kabuto.
I was literally talking to the guys about the fact that seniors need some love too. So you might see that down the line eventually. All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you again for joining us, guys. Listening. Thank you as well. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep. See you in 2 weeks. Hopefully with new content.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Adios.